So, musical theatre has been around a fair old while. However, variety and cabaret has arguably. Oh, let's start that again. That's a good tongue, easy for me to say. Good start, David. Here we go. Musical theatre has been around. So, musical theatre has been around a fair old while. However, variety and cabaret has arguably been around even longer. But what happens when multiple art forms merge? Comedy meets musical carnage, and magic enchants the masses. This is what we're chatting about on this week's episode of Open House. And welcome to our official NYMT podcast series. It's the podcast that brings you insight and inspiration from a whole host of incredible guests and friends of NYMT in celebration of our 50th anniversary. And don't forget, you can find out even more about our 2026 season and how to get involved on the socials at NYMT UK or online, nymt.org.uk. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So I'm delighted to be joined today by my co-host and young company member, Toby. Toby, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm all right, actually. I'm a bit tired. Full week of college, but I'm here. I'm okay.
Brilliant. It's good to have you. Now, tell us, you are pretty much fresh from an NYMT residential course yourself. How was the residential? How are rehearsals going?
I mean, obviously it's NYMT, so it was incredible, but it's all a very new take on the show. It's very exciting. It's very new.
What
can't
project
say
are
too
you?
much.
What production are you involved in?
Currently, Just So.
Just So exciting,
Just
gorgeous
So.
Styles and Drew musical.
Indeed.
Amazing.
Just so we all know who's who, David.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, we can't wait to see it. That's on this summer at the Birmingham Hippodrome.
Yep.
But please, come on. I know you know who our guests are. Tell us, who have we got on this week's episode?
Perfect. We've got two brilliant guests this week. Super exciting episode. We've got Rafferty Coope, who we all know, obviously, from KSI's Golden Buzzer on BGT recently, going to semi-finals soon, mixing, magic and music and live entertainment, everything. Also a previous NYMT Young Company member. We've also got Hale with us today. She's a brilliant musical comedian. She just did Control Freak, I think, a debut show, which just sold out, which is incredible. And she's with us today, also previous Young Company member. So super excited to chat with them today.
A terrifically talented duo. I can't wait to hear what we're going to talk about. Rafferty and Anna, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Hello. How are you both?
Oh,
Great,
we are
thanks.
great. Amazing, thank you.
So excited to be here.
Oh, it's a delight to have you. It really is an absolute delight to have you. Two tremendously talented individuals, each with your own fabulous flair and unique talents that you've merged into the world of musical theatre that I cannot wait to hear about. But my first question to you both is I need you to cast your mind back. Rafferty, potentially not too far for you, but do cast it back a little. What was your first memory of theatre when you were younger? Anna, you can go first.
Because I'm the old one.
Maybe.
I'm so lucky because I have so many memories of theatre when I was a child, that I remember the first musical I was ever in was a production of, do you know the jukebox musical Disco Inferno?
Yes.
Yes.
It's absolute camp as heck. I loved it so much. And I think I was probably 9 years old, and I just joined the youth theatre that I then would stay in until I left school when I was 18. And I was just one of the little ensemble kids, and they'd bring us on with, like, if there was a love song, we'd just come on holding cardboard hearts and everyone would go, oh, that's so cute. But I just remember being such a keynote. I was just so excited to be there, and I just wanted to impress everyone. I was so obsessed. And so we're doing some choreography to a song called I Can't Keep Out the Night, while the main character's having a bit of a meltdown, and I was doing the choreography and I'm going, I can't keep out that, like, full music video. Such a keen bean. They put me at the front because I was so keen.
I'm here for it. Front and centre.
Validation.
Speaking of front and centre, Rafferty, what is your first memory of theatre or being front centre stage?
I guess my first sort of memory, which I can really vividly remember, is going to my first lesson show, which was Matilda, the musical. And I remember I listened to the soundtrack before I saw it, and I'd never quite realized that it was actually people around my age performing in that show. And I remember just watching that and just being so inspired by every single person, all of the young company members, and that were just amazing. And I just thought, wow, like this is something I would love to do. So I just continued listening to all the soundtracks, getting into other musicals and stuff, and I sort of signed up to a local sort of youth theatre group straight away. But no, and my love has not died down ever since.
I love it. I absolutely love it. What a show as well. What a show for your first taste of theatre. How fabulous. Listen, you both have quite a unique take on performing within your various skill sets. And for some of our listeners that don't know, Anna is a fabulous singer, songwriter, and comedian. And Rafferty has merged magic with performance and being a musician all into one. But if people stop you and ask you how to describe what you do, how would you describe it yourselves? Because, it's all very well me saying it, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Anna, how do you describe it now with such a wide combination of talent?
If someone asks me that question, I panic. I go, I'm a performer and I'm a devil. I feel like, it's lovely now that I can sort of introduce myself as a comedian. That feels very special. It's not something that I thought I would do, and then when I started doing musical comedy, I just fell in love with it. So it's really nice to say I'm a musical comedian, which sometimes is my answer. But I also, having done comedy, that was kind of the first time I'd written stuff and really put it out in front of people and could say I'm a writer, because it feels like a big thing when you say you are that thing. But my first instinct is panic.
I like it. You don't need to panic. But you talk about it's a big thing when you're able to say it. I guess there were times when you were still doing exactly the same thing, but felt like you didn't quite have that validation to announce it to the world yet, which of course that's not true. You can shout about it from the rooftops from the get-go. What was it for you that gave you that validation, that opportunity, that now was the time to shout it from the rooftops?
That's such a good question. I think because you're absolutely right. I'd written songs for years, but I'd never called myself a songwriter. But it was taking that leap of putting it in front of other people and sharing it with other people and realizing that what you were making, what I was creating, was valid and was new and it was original. It was something that I'd done and that was mine to share. And it felt really lovely to present it to other people and to, it's nice when people clap. It's a really lovely validation. But yeah, it was just taking that leap of putting it in front of other people, which you can do at any point. You can write a song and post it on the internet, and that counts. You can do anything you like.
Rafferty, how would you describe yourself in one sentence?
I would describe myself as just a performer, because that's what I love doing. It doesn't matter whether it's music, magic, or more. I just absolutely love giving that sort of experience and joy to other people, because 5 minutes of my time can end up sticking with someone else for a lot longer.
So, yeah. Do you ever think, such a random question, but I know for me, especially whenever we're I don't know if you ever did devising and stuff in GCSE drama, is there ever a point, do you think, where it's you kind of reach a point with you mixing music and magic and everything? It's this is actually really incredible, or am I actually just completely delusional and this is insane, it's mental?
Absolutely, yeah. There's been so many sort of highs and sort of lows. The main sort of the way I started out of wanting to mix both my passions of music and magic is because I've always loved magic. It's just been a thing which I've just been so sort of obsessed by seeing my first magic trick. I just remember the feeling that it gave me. I didn't care how the trick was done. I loved that feeling, and I wanted to just share that with many people. So I just practiced and practiced and practiced. But my combining both music and magic, because I also did music, lots of music when I was younger. I went to all these magic conventions and met some of my idols in magic and all these other magicians, and found out that they were also musicians. And it almost clicked into place for me, and I realized to be a magician, you've got to have very similar mindsets. You've got to be prepared to practice. You've got to have finger dexterity. You've got to be a performer. So I hadn't seen it really actively combining the two, because they both go so hand in hand. Just like, I mean, music and comedy. I just wanted to create an act and a few tricks that combine both my loves. But there were, as to answer your question, yes, there were points where I thought I'm onto something, and then wake up the next day and realize, yeah, that is really not very good. But it took many like months
I've honestly, Rafferty, it's surprising you're so passionate about magic, because when that golden buzzer was hit, you just seemed so chilled about it. I've never seen anyone so chilled. I mean, and if there is, I doubt there is, but if there is anyone listening who doesn't know what we're referring to, golden buzzer, BGT, Rafferty absolutely smashed his audition on Britain's Got Talent, which was aired this year, 2026. He got KSI's golden buzzer, which means straight through to the semi-finals. I know there's going to be people that want to know. I want to know. Talk us through that moment and those 30, 40 seconds and what it was like for you on that stage.
So it was a completely mad experience, the whole process. And basically, I created this act and I worked on it so hard, practiced it every single day, and then I went up to Blackpool Opera House, and it was. I wouldn't say I'm normally like a really nervous performer, because it's what I love, but I remember just feeling, and the thing about Britain's Got Talent is those red buzzers that you sort of see when an act's bad. You don't just hear those, you feel them. Like the whole of Blackpool could feel one of those red buzzers. And I'm pretty sure like the 3 acts that went on before me all got red buzzers, and I actually thought, I'm gonna die out here. I'm walking to a guiillotine.
I wish I had a red buzzer right now.
Edit it in the sound. But I just walked out there, but I knew what I needed to do, and I remember just looking out into the audience of 3,000 people, and I felt the support of every single person there, and I was so grateful for that. And it's the show which I've literally grown up on every single year. It's been a sort of a staple part of my childhood. It's what got me into magic. It was watching magicians on VGT. So just standing on that stage was a massive full circle moment for me. And then looking at all the judges, and then starting the act, I was so happy of how I was performing it, and each trick I got through, and I went, yes, that went good. And there was lots of high risk of it not working. Like magic is not every time it works. Like almost the complete opposite. But the desk sort of cut off half my legs, but you couldn't quite see. I looked very calm and sort of holding myself together above the desk, but beneath, my legs were jelly. Oh my gosh, they were literally. I was like a swan. It was nice and elegant up here, but under the water, it was going crazy.
Paddling like mad.
But no, it went so well, and sort of seeing everyone's reaction once it finished, once the act finished, I wasn't expecting it at all. Everyone got on their feet, the judges, and at no point in my mind in this whole process or ever did a golden buzzer even sort of occur to me. Not at all. So when I saw KSI, who I was actually the judge who I really wanted to impress out of them all, because I knew he was also into music and magic, not only just press the golden buzzer, stand on the desk, walk to it and stamp on it, I actually couldn't believe it. And I think what's actually really lovely is at the beginning I got asked a question of saying, do you think you could win this whole show? And I answered it very honestly, which I still believe, which is, I mean, I would like to hope so. It was actually KSI who ended up saying, no, have some confidence, believe in yourself, which actually tied in really nicely with the act. So for him to give his golden buzzer was so special, and getting to sort of hug him on stage, I've loved his YouTube channel like all my life.
Was it a good hug? Was it a good juicy hug?
Oh my god, it was a good hug.
That's good.
He smelled nice as well. No.
That always helps.
But no, it was insane.
dealing with those, you talk about dealing with those nerves in that moment. I think whether you're a magician, a musician, a comedian, a singer, songwriter, nerves are something that everyone has to deal with. And is there any more nerve-wracking position than to be a comedian up on that stage where your sole responsibility is to make people laugh? Anna, tell us
Yeah.
about that side of things from your side, and how do you deal with nerves when you step out on that stage?
Well, the thing is, the nerves for me, I are always before I get on the stage. Once I'm on the stage, there's nothing I can do about it. Everyone's looking at me now, so I have to put on a show. But what I love about what I do is when I combine music and comedy, um, I'm I'm at my happiest when I'm singing, and it's when the minute I open my mouth and I make a noise, I feel calm and I feel centered. And also I have the hack of having a little keyboard to hide behind, so it's like a little shield between me and the audience. But I think I get most of my nerves before I go on stage. But once I'm there, it's actually a really comfortable place for me. It's where I feel very happy. So, which is such a treat because I know not everyone feels like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, Rafferty, I want you to win this competition so bad, man. That's all I can think
Thank
about.
you.
I really want you to win.
For our
Obviously-
listeners that are listening, you'll be able to vote. You'll be able to find it on
Yes.
Rafferty's socials. I'm sure NYMT socials will share a link. Make sure you vote, and let's see Rafferty get through those semis into the final. Right, Toby?
Yes. Well, obviously, going back to Anna here, obviously we know your stuff is like absolutely hilarious. It's insanely good, but also so like musically incredible. It's absolute genius. Are there like any kind of times where you think people maybe underestimate comedy? Does that make you more nervous? People underestimate like the combining of the two. That takes so much skill and like talent. I think like that's insane. Like how do you think people maybe do underestimate that, and maybe does that add to your level of nerves in a sense?
Well, firstly, thank you very much.
Of course.
I think it depends on who your audience is, because there are some
Mm.
people that will really care about the music, and there will be
Yeah.
some people that will really care about the jokes, and there will be some people that kind of sit in the middle. And I think part of it is about making material that suits everybody or that can be enjoyed by everybody, regardless of whether they're in it for the jokes or they're in it for the music. And so I get really excited when I can write a joke and weave it into an interesting melody or make an engaging song, because I think that's partly what keeps people listening as well, is that you always, and that's the art of great stand-up, no matter how you present it, is keeping people engaged by not letting them guess where you're going to go next. And it's the same thing with theatre. It's always just never let the audience catch up with you. And I think if I have the opportunity to keep them guessing with where a song is going, as well as where I'm going to go with a joke, I find that really enjoyable. And it's a treat that I can give myself something lovely to sing,
Yeah,
because
that's
I
so
love
true.
it.
Is that kind of how it feels with like writing as well? Because obviously I know you've written lots for others as well. Like I think you've worked with Kate Butch. Am I right in thinking that?
I have worked with Kate
Love
Butch.
Kate.
We've written 2 songs together. We did a song for their show. What I feel like I can't say the title because it's almost a swear word. But it starts with wuthering and it rhymes with heights.
Fabulous. Sounds lovely.
Great. So we wrote a song together for that, that was like a mashup of various parodies of Kate Bush songs. And then we also wrote a song together for their recent appearance on RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the World. Again, I can't swear, so I can't say too much about this song. But it's really fun working together, and I think, yeah, it's different, very different writing for myself than writing with other people. I really enjoy collaborating and having someone to bounce ideas off, and I think, put more ideas into the space, whereas when I'm writing, I might have an idea in my brain. I don't know if you do this, Rafferty, if you're making up a magic trick or a set, you have an idea in your brain and you go, nope, before you've even said it out loud or written it down, you just go, no, absolutely not. No one's going to talk about that ever again.
I think there's a lot to be said that as creatives, as performers, as young artists, it's very rare that we ever have one idea in our brain. It's very rare that we're just a singer or a musician or a magician or a writer or an actor. There's always other elements there. And you two have just both embraced those other elements, and look where it's taken you. Anna, do you think there's an element that for young performers, there's a pressure to fit into just that one box?
Yes, I think definitely, because I felt that pressure as well. Um, before I'd found comedy, because I wanted to write and I wanted to perform and I wanted to have creative input, and there were so many different things that I wanted to do. And a lot of people's attitude is, we'll pick a lane. Which one are you? Even though the industry, as we all know, most of the time there isn't enough work to just do one thing all the time. It's not viable. But also it's way more fun to do whatever you want to do in a particular moment. And I felt so fortunate when I found comedy and realized that that was a space where I could really comfortably write and perform and write words and write songs and be creative and work with other people and do all of those things that my heart wanted to do and be celebrated for it. But yeah, I think there is a huge pressure on young people to do what they're told to do rather than doing what excites them.
And more importantly, for our listeners at home, what tips would you give, Anna, for someone that's listening and thinking about taking that step of merging and making their own lane, breaking out of that one box and bringing two different skill sets together, but literally on the edge of taking that very first step?
Do it. My advice is just be curious and follow what you want to do. If you've got something inside you that you want to share, if you want to try something out, just try it. Literally the worst thing that could happen is you try it and it doesn't work, and that will make you a more resilient, more interesting person. That's the worst thing that could happen.
Rafferty, how's that box for you? How's that one box that all young people fit into? I'm not sure you're fitting into that box at the moment, my friend.
It's non-existent.
in the most fantastic, fabulous way. How is it for you at the moment?
It's mad. Well, I'm drawing my own box.
Yes, you are. I don't think it's a box. I think it's a hexagon. I think it's a pentagon.
No, yeah, it's. I'm just loving what I'm being able to do, and what I can't believe is the amount of people that are also enjoying it. Because, quite frankly, just stepping on that stage and getting to perform what I love was winning to me. This full stop. But what I can't get my mind around is with BGT, what happens is you get prepared by sort of the press team saying that you've got to expect lots of love, but also you've got to expect lots of hate. And especially with the golden buzzer, you almost get more hate from a golden buzzer because people think, oh, you need to say that. But none of my family can quite comprehend is the sheer amount of love that it's got, and it for the act, for it all, and people can see that it's not just sticking to one thing. When things overlap, that's when the real magic happens. So no, it's been amazing, and I just can't believe that people even like something that originated in my bedroom, which I've just had like stupid idea.
Do you know what?
Now gone to the
it's interesting you say that it originated in your bedroom, because I think when you talk about stepping onto that stage, the BGT stage, and Anna taking her show onto, professional theatre stage in front of a huge audience, those stages are fabulous. But actually, there are those smaller stages. And for, I think, nearly everyone, I reckon you as well, Toby, that first stage can literally just be at home, in the lounge, in the kitchen, friends and family, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Stuffed animals.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What were you performing to your stuffed animals, Toby?
Oh gosh, too much. My own cabaret act, I think.
Insane. Well, listen, Toby, if you need a magic act or some music written for your cabaret, I know a couple of people that would be keen to get involved. Anna, tell us, what are the challenges as far as producing and actually putting on your own one-woman show? You've got the act, you've refined it, the creative side is ready to go, you couldn't be happier with it, and then actually you've got to get the logistics together of producing your own show. How does that happen?
Well, I find logistics quite overwhelming, to be honest, sometimes. I'm very lucky that I've worked with several collaborators while working on my show. So at the moment, and for when I did Control Freak at the Edinburgh Fringe and on tour earlier this year, I've worked with a company called Big Head Comedy. And they know a lot about the industry, and it's about like finding venues and talking to the right people and just knowing the right things to say. So I'm really lucky to be working with Charlie and trying to soak up as much of his experience as I can. And I've got a wonderful director on board, also NYMT alum, Elizabeth Stevens. So she's my director, but also a very, very close friend. And so we've kind of work things out together. She's done a lot of work in the comedy industry as well. And then it's just, I think, having that belief in what you're doing, even if you don't quite believe it, showing that it looks like you do,
Yes.
to show it. You've got to make things look like they're a finished product and everyone has to come and see it, even if you're terrified, which I have been many times. But just having that confidence to share what you're doing and keep reminding people that you are doing something and that you exist and you've still got something to show them and they really should come along.
And get other people involved, absolutely. You talked
Yeah.
about your director, also another NYMT alumnus. Your time at NYMT was as a performer and a young director. Tell us, how does your time at NYMT link, or what part does it play in where you are now?
NYMT was a really special experience for me. I think it gave me such a sense of confidence that I don't think I had in either discipline. It gave me such a sense of confidence that I don't think I'd had before. And I learned so much while I was doing it. I think part of that is the residential experience, where you are completely consumed with the people that you're working with and the show that you're working on, and you are allowed to do, I think, what many of us, you're allowed to follow that instinct that I think so many of us have, which is, I want to spend every second thinking about this, talking about this, dreaming about this, and you're allowed, and it's absolutely wonderful. And I think being in a space where everyone else feels the same and you can all be so excited together and just let yourself pour your heart and soul into what you're doing. I just found that such a beneficial way to learn and grow and understand how things are made and how I can be a part of that.
Amazing. And it's such a warm community of people, isn't it? Just that love for performing and a sense of family. Rafferty, aside from showing magic tricks and practicing on your fellow castmates day in, day out in the evenings, what role has NYMT played for you up to this point? And of course, hopefully, we're going to have you back in the future as well. Fingers crossed.
Very much so. I hope so. I actually truly believe that I probably wouldn't have been able to achieve what I did on that stage without the help of NYMT, even though I've been a part of NYMT for 2 years. I think the first week when I came back for my first week of rehearsal, my jaw was on the floor on just how professional everything was, how we all got treated as professionals. And this is what the industry is. We work hard and we practice and we spend all of the hours doing it. And I did that with magic before, but never to that level, and being surrounded by people. And I just remember just that gig sort of gave me the drive to really think, I'm going to professionally sort of work at this magic and stuff and do it. And it also gave me the confidence, just spending stage time, just doing all of that. I felt far more relaxed on that big stage than I would have if I hadn't done NYMT. So it's massively helped, and I just love it so much.
I mean, it must be weird for you thinking about going back to NYMT after all this massive BGT explosion, and then just going back to, even going back to like school, I'm assuming, going back to normal life. Must be so weird. How do you stay so normal about it all?
I think I'm just sort of just treating it very sort of, I can't believe that this is happening to me, and I don't feel like I deserve any of the success that is sort of coming from, but I'm so grateful for all of it. I mean, I cannot wait to go back into NYMT. Honestly, I was gutted that I couldn't do it this year due to the overlap of the BGT stuff.
Small overlap, just a small overlap.
But no, going back to school has been crazy. I've absolutely loved it, and things have happened from BGT which is mind-blowing. So I can't quite believe it, but I've actually been invited. You made a joke earlier about a show in Vegas. I have actually been invited to do a show this August in Vegas.
Incredible.
So it's opportunities,
and that is hot off the press for our listeners. That is that's not on the Instagram. That's not on the TikTok. You heard it here first. Speaking of hearing it here first, any inside sneak peek gossips? What we can look forward to in the semi-final?
Well, a magician never reveals his secrets.
I thought we had you then. I thought we had you.
Well, what I can say is expect more. It's such a I feel like I only scratched the surface on what music and magic can be in the audition. So we're going to peel back a few more layers and sort of uncover stuff. But yes, can't wait.
I'm
Lips sealed.
those lips are sealed, but I'm so excited to see what's next. In this next section of the podcast, titled "One Singular Sensation," little musical theatre pun for you there. It's the questions, quick fire questions that require one word or one short, snappy answer. And Anna, we're going to come to you first. Here we go.
Okay.
One word to describe your journey so far.
In my life,
Yes.
That's 3.
thrilling.
Thrilling. I like it. Thrilling. Rafferty, one word to describe your journey so far?
Madness.
Takes its toll. Anna, back to you. One risk that paid off.
It's really hard.
She's thinking.
I'm overthinking. My headphone fell out. I overthought too much. One risk that come back to me. I'm being rubbish.
We'll come back to you. Rafferty, you're going to... She's deferred. She's passed. One risk that paid off, Rafferty.
I think... how do I put this into one word? BGT.
Yeah, that'll do. It doesn't have to be one word. It could be a short answer. But yeah, that's fair enough. I'll take that. Anna, we're coming back to you with the one risk.
I'm going to keep this as few words as I can, but the Musical Comedy Awards.
Yes. Tell us about that. What was it like to be a part of that amazing competition?
Oh, it was very special. I tell you why it was a risk. It was because I hadn't done comedy gigs before. I'd done my show, and that was the first time I'd done comedy. And then I thought, I'll enter a competition. And I didn't have the experience. I hadn't practiced just performing in front of people. So it was absolutely terrifying. But I couldn't have been in safer, more welcoming hands. The MCAs are such a generous community, and I didn't realise that I would have the chance to just meet other musical comedians and realize that we're all very different, but we're all really excited to get to know each other and support each other. And the community of musical theatre performers in this country, and musical comedians even, is just really friendly and really lovely. And actually, even though it is a competition and it is competitive because everyone is there because they want to do well, everyone wishes the same for everybody else as well. And it was such a pleasure to be part of that and to then come second my first time trying and win the audience favourite prize was incredibly overwhelming and a memory that I really think will stick with me for a long time.
Cheers to that. Yeah, that wasn't so bad, was it? Look, that's a great answer. I love it.
I did it, guys.
But with the moments like that, how do you deal with the pressure to keep achieving more, to keep pushing forward to the next step? How do you manage that and take that in your stride on a day-to-day basis?
It's hard, but I think the more you do it, I think it's just practice. The more you can just try new things. And I think that is the trick, is just try something new, never trying to recreate a success that you've had in a slightly different way. I think trying to reinvent something that you've already done is never going to be exciting for you or exciting for anyone watching it. And what I try and do and what I really admire other people doing is to just try something new and see what happens. It's almost like starting again and having a go, say, I want to do comedy. Okay, I'll try it. And now going, I'm going to do something different and just see how I feel about it. But as long as it's entertaining me as much as it's entertaining other people, then it should be a good thing.
Rafferty, is your magic still entertaining you as much as it's entertaining other people?
Absolutely. I just love it all. I enjoy it. Well, magic has so many positives. I mean, it does make you look pretty cool, but that's not the main reason I do it.
It is cool. It is cool.
I just do it to see people's reactions, and like if I can just make one person smile, then that's all the practice has paid off.
I love it. Now, you talked about the practicing earlier. How much practice do you do with your magic, or how much practice have you been putting in over the last few years? Because I think there are people at home that think, oh, it might be the odd 10 minutes here, maybe 10 minutes there. I've got a sneaky suspicion they might be a way off.
Yeah. So I try minimum practice an hour to 2 hours a day. But I use my lockdown pretty well because just like on a Zoom call, it sort of cuts off half your body. I was spending all of my time during lockdown just handling a pack of cards. So I was giving direct eye contact to my teachers, and they thought I was completely concentrating, because magic's super important, because you should be able to do sleight of hand moves without anyone seeing. So I was just doing this 8 hours a day, practicing.
Pay attention at
Yeah.
school, kids. Pay attention.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just spent all my time doing that, and I came out of lockdown far better magician than I was going into it. But I just practiced as much as I can. But the good thing about it is I enjoy practicing it, and I don't think there's really been one point where I felt, oh, I've got to go practice this, because it's what I love to do, and I know that the work that I put in now will benefit much.
And I think what I would say as well, which I think is so important, the world of social media is amazing. We can see so much talent at the click of our fingers, at the drop of a hat. But I think it's important to know that that 30-second video didn't just happen in those 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
There's years behind it. The same for Anna's shows, Anna's music, Anna's songs, hours, days, years, weeks, months of meticulously writing, rehearsing, and finessing whatever it is that's part of your act that you then might share to the wider world. And you
Sure.
both are phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal at it. And we are coming to the end of the episode, which I can't believe, because I could talk about it for hours, and we could get Rafferty doing some magic. We could get Anna sing us a song. But before we do, I know that Toby has got some questions from some of our listeners, which he's going to fire at you. We're going to have one each, one to Anna, one to Rafferty.
Perfect.
Toby, over to you.
Perfect. So I've got a question from Hannah here, who's 16, and she's asked for Rafferty. What's something that people see on stage, like a trick that this seems effortless, but it's absolute chaos and carnage trying to learn it?
Pretty much all of it, honestly. There's so much. Well, magic's all about the things that you don't see, right? All the moves that I spent hours practicing basically make me look. My goal is to make it look like I haven't done anything. So when I sort of show my parents a move that I've been practicing, I'm like, "Oh, take a look at this," and they're like, "But what did you do?" And that means I've done my job right. So much goes unseen. But I guess, yeah, it's the secrets. But yeah.
Sounds like when I say to someone, "Watch me do the splits," and they say, well, "What did you do?" and I say, "Oh, well, that's the trick, guys." Go on, Toby. Fire away with the next one.
Final one for Anna here. We've got a question from Emma, who's 18, a fellow Drag Race fan, like I am. She's asked, are any other drag queens that you have worked with in the past, or ones that you're planning on working with in the future, if you can say?
I have not worked with other drag queens or have any plans to, but I would love to work with some other drag queens. I think the drag queen that I would love to work with next is Bimini Bon Boulash, because they are such a lyrical genius, and I think it would be so exciting to just fire away ideas about lyrics and get excited about words.
I mean, if you can create the name Bimini Bon Boulash, you really can do anything, I think.
Right? The world's your oyster.
Fabulous stuff. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your insight, your generosity, your kindness. Having you both on here has been absolutely glorious. Before we do go, I'm going to finish with the final question. We've asked it to all our guests on the show so far. NYMT 2026 season is the season of dreams. Tell us, what is a dream of yours?
I would say that my dream, slightly cringe, but I really truly believe that I am currently living my dream. I wouldn't change anything. My dream is just to inspire as many young people to get into music, magic, theatre. Doesn't matter what sort of creative art form, just having something that you can love doing and sort of having that as a sort of a thing that you can keep coming back to. But my dream is to sort of get into this industry. This is what I love to do. Whether music, I'd love to get into acting. I would love to, because I'm also a musician, sort of write my own album, produce. So really, wherever the wind takes me after this, like hectic madness journey of BGT, I'm just so grateful for. And thank you everyone who's listening for the support and kind messages, because truly they have made my day every single time I read them. So yeah.
We are really, really rooting for you every step of the way, Rafferty. And I've got a feeling you might be running out of days in the year if you want to be going along with all of those 3-4 different career paths. But why not? We're really rooting for you and wish you best of luck in the semi-final. Don't forget, if you are listening, don't forget to stay tuned. Watch the Britain's Got Talent semi-final, where you can vote for Rafferty. He wants your vote to hopefully get him through to the final of 2026 BGT. But Anna, tell us, what is a dream of yours?
Honestly, I feel like my dream right now is for Rafferty to win BGT.
Oh.
It's like, I've watched that show for years and now I'm going to. I'm much less sensible. I just want to be on The Masked Singer. I am obsessed with that show. I have a notebook and I write down all the clues, and then me and my mum phone each other in the ad breaks and go, "Who do you think it is?" And then we stalk people. That's my not sensible dream. But I, much like you, Rafferty, I think just doing what we're doing is already amazing, and consistently just trying to keep following whatever we want to do in that moment, not like setting one firm goal, but just to keep being excited about being creative and making new things. And if I had to be specific, I do get a really lovely little feeling when I see the faces outside the London Palladium. So that's a bit of a dream, would be to perform there and maybe even have my mug on the building. But Masked Singer first. For real.
Masked Singer first. Get your priorities right. If you were to go Masked Singer, what creature, animal, or puppet item would you be if you could choose what your mask would be? Do tell us.
You're asking like I haven't already got this planned, David.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, obviously now I've said this, everyone's going to know it's me when I do
Sure.
it. But,
well, you can tell us this and come with another one when you get the call.
Yeah, exactly. Outside car warehouses, they have those tubes that sort of wave and flail in the wind. That would be me. And so I think my character would just be called Tube. And it would just be this big stick. And then I think I'd chat with the designers, obviously, but I would like to have sort of wind machines inside the costume. So I hit a big note, then my arms would go like whoosh above me. That's the plan. As I'm like cracking out Defying Gravity in the final.
I'm sold. If anyone knows a producer or one of the team on Masked Singer, please get Anna Hale on it. And now you wait to the next series when they've got a tube character.
And then I get unmasked and everyone goes,
your social media is going to go ballistic. Well, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure having you both. Thank you so much to Toby for being a fabulous co-host.
Of course.
It's been great having you on. And to our two incredible guests, Rafferty and Anna. Honestly, it's been an absolute delight having you on the episode. And I think, Anna, you talked about never letting the audience catch up with you. One thing's for certain, the audience are certainly not catching up with you two. And I guess, the future of performance, it isn't just one path, is it? It isn't one box. It isn't one lane. It can really be whatever you want it to be. And you two are testament to that. That's it for today's episode, and thanks so much for listening to Open House. If you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment wherever you're listening from. And hey, why not tell a friend? The more the merrier. Check out nymt.org.uk to learn how you can support us, get involved, and what's on throughout the season. Or find us at NYMT UK on the socials, and why not drop us a message with what guests you want to see and hear from in a future episode. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye.